Hey, good people, it's your man EG with the EG My Journey podcast, and we're getting into another episode of this fire podcast, you dig? I got a great guest, good friend of mine, my buddy. Again, like I tell y'all all the time, they all my friends because that's all I've had on so far. So we're going to get to him in just a minute, so hold on, keep it locked. Yes, sir. Back in the building with a great show coming up. Got my brother on this joint. I'm going to introduce y'all to him in just a bit. But before I introduce him, I guess I should say before I bring him on, I'm going to give you a few little words about him. A little crazy, a little nutcase. But you know what? I'm going to just bring him in, and then I'm going to talk to you about him in his face. How about that? There he is, Mr. Def Cuts himself, Mr. A.A. Ron. Wait a minute. I got his mic off because I didn't like to hear his voice. But here we go. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I'm here. I was just getting some
So
important paperwork.
You're doing paperwork?
I was getting handed some important news, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead,
This dude, listen to me. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great interview. Freaking nutcase. This gentleman right here, we met many years ago. We came back into, after not seeing each other for quite some time, we came back into friendship, relationship. I guess, previous we just knew each other, but now it's more of a friendship. We're a lot closer than we used to be because we share a lot of the same things. He's kind of been a mentor to me in the art space. If you can see right behind him, he has some art, and there's a good story about his artwork then and now, because it took a turn somewhere a couple years ago, and he's going to be able to tell you a little bit more about that. I'm gonna give him that opportunity, but nevertheless, he is. I said it, guys. I said it. I'm sorry. I started off early and I said it. So that means you got to take a shot. Remember, every time I say nevertheless, you have to take a shot. It's a continual drinking game. So, go ahead, take that shot. There we go. And he got a shot of, I don't know what that was, but anyway.
That was Ripple.
It looked like sham pipple.
Ripple.
But anyway, guys, he is my barber extraordinaire. He's the one that takes care of me and makes me look all pretty. And that's why I wear hats, because I'm sorry. You heard that? I wear hats just because I like hats, not because
my barber. I appreciate the investment in you, so it's cool. Wear hats.
You say it don't even matter.
You throwing away money.
You're throwing away your own money.
Yeah. I'm gonna start stealing them hats.
You big dummy. All right. But anyway, so without further ado, I want to introduce you to my friend and my brother, Mr. Aaron Colar.
Hey, what's up?
Uh-oh. A little slow on the draw, but that's all right. So, hey, tell me a little bit about you first before we even get into all the other stuff.
Oh, man. Me? First of all, I'm human. Nah, man, barber of 30 years, artist, so-called. I'm not the coolest, but I'm an artist, creator. Anything creative,
Word up. You're
all that good stuff.
Actually, has it been 30 years or more? Because
it's been 30 years.
No, we've been out of high school 30 years, bro.
Yeah, it's been 30 years with license.
With your license. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
And then it was like 114 years previous. Dude started cutting hair when he was 3.
Yeah, I never had a regular job, man. I never worked nowhere in my lilife, I never had to fill out an application ever in my life. So
you were ahead of the game, in other words.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the area. That's the area in which a lot of people are going. A lot of people are now, due to the last few years of what we've been going through in the world in itself. And
hmm
with that,
I go
go
all the way back, brother, to where I used to be drawing on jeans and shit. Remember that shit way back in the
do I
early '90s,
when we were in middle school. Now it was like in the 80s, son. It
in the
was
'80s, the
and
'80s,
Bart
late
Simpsons and
'80s. Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, the Bart Simpsons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I remember
Yeah, the
I
Violent
was
Hero, all that crazy stuff. I
yes,
used to be
sir.
putting on people's shorts and stuff, So I was definitely before my time.
Yeah, and that was great times. It's a whole lot different nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Your
We
life in it.
created our own lanes, no
Right.
Instagram and none of that, you know what I'm saying? So
We
that's
were
how
the
it goes.
tweets to the Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
it was like we had rotary phones and light up phones, and we ain't had no cell phones. And then our everything was outside. You know what I'm saying? It was a
Yes.
punishment
Yes.
for your mama to say you can't go outside. And like unlike today, it's a punishment for these knuckleheads when they tell them to go outside. It's
Yes.
crazy. They can't
Yes.
even drink out the hose pipe nowadays. That's what we did.
Yeah, man. They scared of that water. That's the best water.
Man,
Hose
get in
pipe
that
water.
water. Yeah, well, I
Yeah,
don't know
man.
about
Hose
now.
pipe water. Man, I will still drink out the hose pipe
I
before I
don't know
drink
about now.
bottled water. Man,
Hey,
go
bro.
ahead. We ain't gonna get into that. Let's go
Hey,
ahead.
yeah, leave it alone. That's for another show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, being on the ride in this journey, I'm gonna start with me. I just want to say, just let you guys know that everybody, if you're listening, if you've checked out the show, you know about my medical journey, and my brother and his wife, Latanya. Man, they came through and they took care of me. They made sure that they not only came to spend time with me, but they brought me um what I definitely needed. Everybody else, I was telling them, look, bring me candy. And I had an outrageous candy drum. It was crazy. So if you look at the last show, you'll see how I was the candy lady in the hospital, more or less. And I just say the candy lady because the candy man is a monster. Uh so I would tell Aaron, he was like, "What you need?" And I'd be like, "Man, I don't need nothing. Just come see me." And they would bring fruit. They would bring things that would edify the body. Things that were great for the health and that was conducive for the healing that I needed, and it was necessary. and and not only did they come, but they came constantly, called constantly. It wasn't just a one time, two time thing. It was a that's my boy, that's my brother. I got to be there, and that's what, like y'all know, that's what I said I needed. I needed that good energy. I needed the energy of people that I knew loved me, and that love would turn on to be more positive energy. Because the hospital, it's really not a conducive place for healing. It's not. That's not what they're built.
Remind me to talk about that, man. I had to get out there as fast as I could because,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So, and I said all that I say because, I've heard, I had the opportunity to hear some of the story of Aaron before I even went into the hospital. I was hearing some of his story and about how he had to, come home to heal, and then, some of those healing mechanisms and the things that it took, it gave me some enlightenment, and that's why, again, we talked about the purpose and the key to having advocates in your life. Sometimes people don't know they are advocates. Sometimes people do know, and then sometimes it's just natural. And I think for my brother and his wife, it was just natural. It was
yeah,
natural. Like, yeah, I'm gonna bring you some candy, but it's gonna be candy from the earth. So they brought watermelon and I think y'all bought cuties, the little
yeah,
oranges and
yeah,
and
yeah. All
grapes
the
and
good stuff. No
all the
wall. Look,
good
don't
stuff.
look. No Walmart fruit.
Right, right. No,
All
no, no.
organic.
I've
All good stuff.
these fruit had seeds,
Yes,
and,
yes,
and
yes.
they were
That's
what
what's
track number
important.
9. Huh?
Yes, yes.
So, and all that good H2O3, man, which is the water content that we need for our body, not the H2O that we get on the everyday, which is good. Both of them are good, but the best is the H2O3, which we get directly from our fruits. Again, that's another
Yes, sir.
show.
Yes, sir.
Again, and I go back and I think about that my time in, and I never want to put any comparison on anybody else that was there or anybody else that came and that showed love. And the reason I don't, because it's not about that. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It is
Hmm.
more or less about each individual person, and that's how I like to explain it and to live it. And the perfection of that is that I was able to see people for who they are. You know, whether they came to see me or they didn't, whether they whether they were a part of the healing or they weren't. Because some people just came to see straight up, and whether they
That's
know it,
true.
like it or not, they still did something for me.
That's true.
I
That's
don't know
true.
what I did for them. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm gonna get off my little piece, my little spiel. Hey, tell me about, like previously to being, kind of what life was out previous to going into the hospital. First of all, let me tell y'all this before he even gets into it. Aaron had a bad accident on a motorcycle, and it was traumatic, and it was potentially life ending. And it was very, very scary. I mean, it was scary for me, and I wasn't in it. Once I got the call, I was just like, how do I get there? Where do I need to go? But I don't think we couldn't come see you.
Man, no, it was high COVID time. I can only have certain people at the hospital. My wife couldn't even stay with me. That's another part of the story. I was so used to sleeping with my wife and being with my wife all the time. That was one of the hardest things about this journey that I had, you know. But to um to get into it, before the accident, I used to take care of myself well, exercise a lot, and eat properly, the proper diet, no red meat, you know, no pork. But the way we started, was, getting into trying to keep the temple together, trying to stay healthy so I don't need to go to the hospital, to the doctors and all that. So, that's food is the medicine. So once you change your diet to to heal the body, you get into more exercise, more eating properly, um, more meditation, you know. Um, so that was it. Before the accident, I was into myself, into healing. The family, we all ate properly. We changed all the diets. Everything was, about keeping the temple together and keep the temple healing itself. So going into the accident, my body
Mhm.
was at 100%. I was good. So the day of my accident, I was in here with the wife, about to make some edibles,
Yeah.
enjoying my day, and I wanted to go out and take me a ride, get me some adrenaline, because I love the adrenaline rush from riding bikes and
Right.
riding motorbikes and shit. So I did go out, took me a ride. Unfortunately, I didn't have a helmet. I wasn't riding with my helmet that day. So my 5 minute ride that I told my wife I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick ride. Turned into a month in the hospital, me being paralyzed. I don't know what I hit. I was just out having a ride, taking a ride. I remember riding on the levee and, just enjoying the ride. I don't know what I hit. Something threw me from the bike. Um, I hit my head, which caused me to lose all motion and feeling in my right side. So basically, I was paralyzed from hitting my head on the left side.
So that's where that brain leakage came from.
Yeah, so I lost some of that juice that hold your brain in there. But yeah, so back to the accident. So I hit my head, smashed my skull, pushed my brain in, which caused me to be paralyzed on my right side.
Yeah.
So I come to, I'm knocked out. I don't know what happened. I come to, I can smell oil from the motorbike, gas,
Right.
and I realized I fell. I'm telling myself I fell. I had an accident, but I can still feel myself moving, but not
Right.
paying attention. So once I get up and sit up, not get up, but I try to sit up, I realized my right arm, I thought it was broken because
Gotcha.
I couldn't move it.
Right. Right. Right.
So by me thinking my right arm was broken, I'm just trying to push myself up, not knowing what's going on with my head, not knowing what's going on with my body at all.
Yeah.
So,
Don't worry about that.
so, so I pushed myself up to where I can sit up, and there's this lady that's walking up to me. She must have been working in the field or right there. They had a gate. They were working on this gate in this backyard. I'm on the levee bank, so I'm behind a bunch of houses where nobody could see me. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, like I said, I'm out there with no helmet. I done hit my head. I'm bleeding from the head. I'm paralyzed on one side. The lady walked up to me and asked me, if I'm okay. And I'm trying to get my phone out my pocket so I could call my wife.
Right.
And so I get my phone out and I hand it to the lady. Don't know the lady name still to this day. Oh, well, my wife just told me her name was Tanya. So the lady grabbed my phone. She was
Shout out
scared
to
to
Miss
take my
Tanya.
phone. Shout out to Miss Tanya. She was scared to take my phone because it was covered in blood. And at the time, you know how shit was, and blood. People don't like to touch blood. But she took my phone anyway.
Word.
And she called my wife. The phone went to voicemail. But I don't know what happened, bro. The universe is strange. My wife found out
Yeah.
the cop. They went to the house, and she come and I'm sitting up, and as I look back over my shoulder, I see my wife walking up with the cop, and I'm like, hey, babe, like I'm all right, nigga, crazy shit ever, like I'm
Yeah.
okay. I say, hey, I say, babe, don't worry, I think I just broke my arm, like I'm all fucked up.
And she looking at you like, boy, you got a hole in your head.
No, she told me the cop told her that no, look at his head, he's bleeding from the head, and that couldn't be good. They didn't tell me this. I didn't know. So
Right.
this is the crazy part. So once I realized my wife was behind me and I told her, oh babe, I think I just broke my arm. And I could hear the ambulance, the sirens. I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah.
Once I
It
looked
just
over my shoulder and said, babe, I think I just broke my arm, I blacked out.
gotcha. Gotcha. It was a bit
When I
much.
come to, yeah, when I come to, I was in ICU.
Oh wow. Yeah. 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 You know what? I can relate to that one. I can relate to that one. Just like the way that I went in, and from what I remember is hours of time based on what had gone on, what was taking place. So
But I was but I
go
was
ahead.
so comfortable with, the the unconsciously.
Yeah.
I rode many times without my helmet. I never thought I could have an accident and hit
Of
my
course.
head because
Of
I've
course.
been riding for over 20 years. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Just so that day.
And you never know, and it's important to keep um to stay ready, to stay
hmm
safe. And
Mentally,
huh?
mentally, you gotta stay ready.
Yeah. Yeah. You better.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
better. And
Because I was one thing about me, I was so confident about myself and my healing process and the way
yeah.
I took care of myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That was very important with this situation.
Right, especially the subconscious means in which you began to deal with what was going on.
Yes.
Subconsciously, what your body knew automatically started happening. Whether you were in a conscious state or place or
hmm
whatever, it started to do its job. And at that moment, that your body was beginning to heal.
Man, you can ask anybody. My wife was there when I woke up.
Yeah.
I woke up the same way if I was to wake up at home.
Come on.
You hear what I'm telling you?
Get in,
I
Goof.
didn't wake up sad. I didn't wake up. I woke up like, okay, I'm alive. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely.
So, oh man, that was it from there. And then, my first when I come to. they asked me, my name because I had a brain injury. So
Right.
they're like, they asked me all these different questions,
Yeah.
to see if I remember a lot of things. And the first
Hmm.
thing they asked me, they say, do you remember who you are? Do you remember your name? And I looked around like, like I was confused. And I was like, uh, yeah, I remember my name. My name is Donald Trump.
You did.
Boy, my wife looked at them doctors and said, ain't nothing wrong with that boy. He the same person. Nothing wrong with him. That's him. He all right. And
That's
that
something
was
I would
it.
have done.
And from there, man, it was on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To be honest with you, from there, it was full throttle.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Good. And and another thing that was very inspirational, not only to me, but I know through for a lot of people, was that shake back. The midst of the
Oh
shake
man.
back after you got, because I remember at one point you were trying to get out and just get out and get out, and you weren't supposed to get out. And I remember talking to Tanya, and Tanya was like, "Nah, he trying to get out of this house," and I was like, "Okay." And then it
Mm,
finally got to the point to where you got to get down the street to that park to start walking. And then
hey
once
man,
that happened, it was on.
bruh. It was up every day. I was knocking shit down.
Yeah,
Every day I'm falling over. It was a new experience for me, man. Not to
absolutely.
be, able to walk and hold up my right side and
Hmm.
hey, bro, when I tell you, huh, yeah, I tried tying your arm behind your back for a couple of days. You see
Yeah.
how hard that is,
Hey, bro, I can't imagine. And then it was your strong side. That's the one
Yeah,
thing we didn't
yeah, that's
mention.
that's my writing hand, that's my painting hand.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
my
the
everything.
hand of the livelihood. Because remember, Aaron is a master barber. Not
Yes.
said he was my barber. So it's everything with that right hand. And so he had to
Mm-hmm.
relearn everything.
Hmm.
Eh, I, I can't imagine, bro. I can't
Man,
imagine.
hold up, let's rewind.
Go
So
ahead.
so I was in the hospital,
Yeah.
and the thing was, rehabbing,
Hmm.
and they were like, you have to stay another month in here to do rehab. We're just gonna move you to another hospital. And I was like,
Mm,
nah, I would rather rehab at home
right.
because with my wife and my kids at my side, I can rehab all day.
That's right.
Somebody's going to be up watching me. Somebody's going to be at my side.
Yeah.
And that's the whole strong point, the support system. If you ain't got a strong support system, it's hard to bounce back like this. I was up before they was up. They get up looking at me sideways, but I'm up and I'm ready to
Absolutely.
go. I'm like, I got to go walk, y'all. I got to move. I got to do something.
Yeah, I
So
can't be here.
I can't be here. I gotta
Yeah,
get up. I gotta. So every day it was 2 steps. It was 3 steps. It was 10 steps. It
word
was
up.
from the to the front door to the driveway, and they like, wait, 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 we coming. Wait, 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 and I'm like, well, y'all gotta come on, because I got a mission. I'm on a mission. I gotta
That's
get
right.
healed.
Got to get
I
back.
gotta get back to walking. And the first thing I think of is, I'm a provider.
Word.
So
Absolutely.
I take care of mine. I
Hmm.
make sure that's one thing I try to do is make sure I lighten the burden. So by me being down, I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I got to get back on the grind.
Yes.
So everybody, other than that, that kept me motivated. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
being a husband, being a father, and to inspire. To be honest with you, I
Right.
was I was messed up, but at the same time in my mind, I'm saying, boy, man, watch the comeback. Ooh, watch the comeback.
Exactly. Well, that's what you told
Watch
me.
this.
That's what you were
I
telling
was
me.
Yeah, but I was, to be honest with you, I was so confident in my ability, to come back. You know, like I said, with the strong support system, my
Right.
wife at my side, like,
Right.
come on, let's go. We can do it. All right,
Absolutely.
hey, let's do it. My kids, I'm in the shower, I'm slipping, and they right there to catch me. Hey man, it was a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
But I was so the comeback, man, was so serious, man. Every day I was on 100.
Yeah.
Every day I was confident. And knowing who I was, man, that's the whole key, man. I knew who I was. You know, I knew how I was built. You know, before the
Right.
accident. You know,
Right.
being at the top of my game with my health and the way I took care of myself and working out, I knew one thing mentally that, you know, I can shake back. You know,
Right.
I know I
Right.
can. You know, I tell people all the time. You know, about being confident in who you are. You know, it's a part of your healing. You
Right.
know, if you
Absolutely.
have any doubt and you have, or you scared and you have fear, all that causes, you know, illness, you know.
Yeah. Without a
So
doubt.
my thought of it was I had to stay positive, you know, and I had a positive team around me and, you know, that kept pushing me forward, you know. And
Word.
so you know, I couldn't give up, you know what I'm saying? And I really was motivated by just showing, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to say, look, see, if I can do it, you can do it.
And that speaks volumes, bro. That part by itself speaks volumes to the character that you carry. You know,
Mhm.
anybody, well, most other folk would be like, woe is me, and I got to get back in. And man, I can't believe I can't use my arm. And a lot of those folks probably still won't be as healed as you are, back to work. And you've been
Let
back
me.
to work for how long?
Oh
For a
man.
year now? Maybe a
So
year now?
hold up. We were in the hospital. How many days, babe? We were in the hospital under 25 days.
Dang.
We were in the hospital 10 days after that ordeal. Hold up.
Yeah.
Let me read to you. Hold up.
Okay.
Fractured a fracture of the optical bone of the skull with loss of
See?
consciousness. So my skull was smashed in, my brain was pushed in. Okay, so with that being said, it completely paralyzed my right side. I had a punctured lung. Okay, I had a spinal fracture. Okay, I had what is this shit, babe? I had I don't know what some of these medical terms is, but but you know, I was bruised from the back of my ear to my ankle. You
Right.
know, I had a cracked sternum. You know, from
Oh,
here to
yeah.
here, my sternum was cracked.
Oh, sheesh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was a lot going on.
Yeah.
With that being said, the journey, man, was crazy. The comeback was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, to be paralyzed, to love, to do what I do, you know, and know that, you know, thinking that, man, I'm gonna be able to paint again.
Right.
Nah, that
Right.
can't be true. You know,
Right.
nah, I ain't gonna be able to cut hair no more. Nah, that ain't about to fly. I don't
Right.
even know where. Mm-mm.
Not up in yeah.
So not up in here, man. I couldn't, you know.
Right. And see, and that was the inspirational piece. Because I remember, you know, especially through that time, I had no context of thought about, of course, what was going on in my situation. Now we already knew that I had some situational, you know, some issues, and you know, for you guys, he was helping me eat right, eat better. We would go and get maybe breakfast or something like that, and I might order something. He's like, man, you don't need that. That ain't what you want. What you want. And, you know, I might cuss him out or something. But I do right for that time. Anyway, uh, I'm saying that to say that those things bless me, and he's absolutely right. He was on the track, and it was a lifestyle. The way he would eat, he would be, he would work out every single day. If it was nothing but walking, and I think you were going walking at that time twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, kind of to get
Yes,
settled
sir.
down on. And then again, your body took over. Your body takes over when we do right things by the body. The body begins to do right.
Amazing, amazing. Hold up, let's go
Amazing.
back. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Go.
Okay, so with the brain injury, my brain, like I said, was pushed in almost like a scoop of ice cream. It wasn't damaged. It wasn't damaged. It just was pushed in. The
Ice
skull
cream.
protected the brain from being damaged. So they 8 hours of surgery. They picked all the pieces of the skull off of my brain and
Mm.
flushed it like, you know, so the
Jeez
brain
Louise.
still was sitting in. They closed it up without covering the brain.
Yeah.
Okay, so throughout my time of healing and rehabbing,
Yeah.
I started to use my left hand because my right arm was paralyzed.
Right.
So what you don't understand, what you got to understand is by using my left hand more, it helped my brain lobe grow in a new lobe. It
Oh,
helped it grow back.
wow.
So they showed a time lapse video of every time I had an MRI on my
Yeah.
brain. They showed how the brain was in like a scoop like this, and
Yeah.
then over time it grew back out like this to the skull.
Mm.
Okay, so when it grew all the way back to the skull's edge, where the hole was on the top,
Yeah.
they put they put a plastic patch over the hole.
Okay. So
So,
you got a plastic patch over your brain now?
oh man, I knew this was gonna come up. There he
Oh,
go.
why you
No,
didn't
no,
tell me?
no, no, man.
Yeah.
They use vibranium. You know, I'm black, man. I may not look it,
Oh,
but
so
they use vibranium.
Wakanda
You
forever?
hear me?
All right.
Wakanda
Okay.
forever,
There we
man.
go.
Yeah. So, the first surgery I came out, after the accident, they didn't put nothing over it so it can grow back in. Okay, I had a second surgery where
Okay.
they did a cranioplasty.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
where
Yeah.
they put me under and they had to put a piece of vibranium over my
Mm.
hole that where I was missing the skull at.
Pause. Anyway, go
Pause.
ahead.
So that was a part of the comeback.
Yeah.
I look. To be honest with you, I'd never been in the hospital before. I never had no kind of surgery.
Yeah.
I never had no, I never went to doctors or none of that,
I get it.
So, so amazingly, when I came out, the doctor said, "Man, by you being in the shape you were in and the way you took care of your body,
Right.
um, you came to, with flying colors, and
Good.
all I had to do was just stick to doing, me, and I was gonna heal fast." So they
Right.
were, amazed at my comeback as well.
Okay. That's the joint. I didn't know you had
Hmm.
a piece of plastic in your brain, but it makes sense. It makes sense to all these conversations we had. Sometimes we'll be talking and he just start tweeting like Tweety Bird or something. Anyway, that's just what he is. So what are some of the other elements that helped you to heal?
So in the hospital, um, wife used to bring me sea moss,
Right, right.
because we do the sea moss every day.
That's
That's
right.
major. It's very important. And I used to get daily aromatherapy.
Hmm.
I used to get daily TAC massages
Okay.
throughout my body where I was hurting and needed healing because I didn't want to take the medicines that the hospitals was giving me.
Right.
After
I can dig it.
5 days of, after the accident, okay, 5 days after, I was on my own to where I told the nurses I didn't want no more IVs and I didn't
Yeah.
want no more medicine. I was going to start healing naturally from here, you
Yeah.
know. So with that being said, my wife used to come in every day and massage my body with the TAC oil
Hmm.
and I daily sea moss and a lot of fruit every day,
Yeah. Yeah.
um and mental, you hear me,
Yes, sir.
mental healing,
Yes, sir.
you know a lot of that, a lot of mental encouragement,
That
you know
is possibly the most because that brain,
it's the
intact or
link.
out of tech, it's the link. Absolutely.
Yes sir,
Even though it
yes
was a
sir,
brain injury, the
yes sir,
biggest part is because there's so many people that die every single day because they've given up or
yes.
their mental isn't strong enough. And then,
Hmm.
people that's gone through what you've gone through, what I've gone through, and so many others that, they've told themselves that they were gonna die. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And they just gave it away. So I do
Hmm.
concur on where you are with that mental joint.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
once you
it's
got,
just
go ahead.
it's positive thinking, man.
Absolutely.
It's always positive thinking, and you got to be reinforced with, the people around you that's always preaching positivity, you know.
Right.
That's
Right. Right. Right.
important.
So once you got out, what were your days like once you got out of the hospital? How was that once they said, all right, you can go home, you can go finish your rehab at home? And then how did they get to the point to letting you out of the hospital? Because I know, excuse me, I know with me, my hospital stay was in two periods, right? There was
Mm-hmm.
the first period I was on the West Bank, and I was there for 7 days. Then I got out, and then it was maybe 3 days later had to go back in. But on the West Bank, one of the things was I saw probably 6 doctors, and they all gave me different ideas. And everybody was like, you know, you're gonna go home tomorrow based on how you do this or based on how
Mm-hmm.
you do that. And all of my bases would always be right. It would be
Mm-hmm.
good. But another doctor, nobody wanted to be the one that say, hey, okay, it's time. I had to tell them, look, I'm
Mm-hmm.
done. I'm not healing in here. Send me home. That was on me.
Well, yeah, it was definitely on me and my wife. You know, my wife and them, you know, knew that once I got out, um, you know, they talked to this. I don't know. I don't know what is she. She was like the release nurse or some shit where, you know, you talk to her and you know you got to let them know what you're going home and do and how your
Yeah,
house set up and all this. Okay, so they accepted the fact that my wife and them was going to take care of me, and I, you know, they was going to make sure I was good.
right.
Um, well, with that being said, I left university.
Okay.
Shouts out to university,
Word up.
ICU. Man, the sisters took care of brother in there. I mean, it
Yeah.
was always on point,
One of the
you know.
best
And oh man,
for trauma,
I mean,
especially. Yeah.
oh man, I made my experience with the hospital, bro, one of the best experiences I ever had.
Yeah.
You know, man, made me feel great.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, you know, I was released from there under my wife's care and my, you know, my kids, my family,
Yeah.
and I started my journey of rehab. You know, so I
Okay.
had to go to rehab twice a week. Man, I went through rehab with flying colors, man. People were
Word.
amazed at my recovery. I mean, every day it was something new, you know, and then I go back and show them something I'm working on with some art or something, you know. So, with that being said, you know, continue to work on rehab and, you know, my right side and working out and all this. Okay, so they didn't tell me I had to go back for a second surgery for the cranioplasty. Let me tell you about this shit. So I go into the second surgery for the
Yeah.
cranioplasty. CCU? What that was? CCU?
Critical care unit.
Critical care unit. Okay.
Okay.
So I went in for a brain cranioplasty surgery. So, man, went in there one day. They was like, oh, it's going to be a 1 day surgery. I said, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. You know, scared as shit, man. Shaking like a hooker in church.
Golly.
Man, I am, bro. When I tell you stressful, bro, I was stressed.
Yeah.
But you know, once they put you under, the lady was like, "All right, yeah, you know, okay, it's gonna be
You
okay."
don't know
Sure
nothing.
enough, sure enough, man. As soon as I said, "All right," I was gone.
Yes,
So I
sir.
came back, you know, and it was amazing how I was ready to go after surgery. You know, they come to and they was like, "Yeah, you good,
Yeah.
man." I got up and they was waiting on wheelchairs, and they said, "We're gonna bring you out." I walked out of CCU.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you I walked out of CCU, every nurse and doctor turned around and looked at me like, wait a minute, he just had a cranioplastic surgery
Yeah.
and he walking out of CCU. Nobody walks out of CCU.
Right. No doubt.
Nobody walks out of
That's
CCU.
right. As a matter of fact, I think it's one of the policies of the hospital that they put you in a wheelchair and
And
get you
we
to the door. Yeah. That's that's fire. But I mean, it goes to show the resilience of where you are, and it also shows that I I'm not just going to accept any kind of healing. I'm going to accept a full healing, and that's it. A
one thing I
100%.
did,
Mhm.
I stayed in my higher self.
Yeah,
I stayed in my higher self. If
yeah.
I wasn't in my higher self, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Word up.
You
Where,
know, my wife and them
what are you
constantly
doing?
on me.
What are you doing right now? What is that?
Oh, this is a part of my therapy after my
Oh,
accident.
therapy. All right.
So I didn't tell you, you know, so with a brain injury, you have a tendency to have seizures.
Word.
Any brain injury
Right.
causes you to have seizures.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I had one seizure after that, and my doctors already, they was like, all right, just continue to smoke and to keep your anxiety down and stress levels down. But I had
Right.
one seizure after the accident
That's
that,
dope. And I mean, you had a
set me
scoop of
back a
ice
little.
cream taken out of your brain.
Yeah, but it grew back.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the amazing part about the
Exactly.
body. It grew back. It's not
So
it's not missing no more. It done grew a whole lot.
right.
It's like, I
Exactly.
think, the chronic health it grew back though.
And I mean, I believe it. And, it is the fruit of the universe. You know what I'm saying? It's the fruit of the earth. It's
We use it. We
part of that
we
healing that
definitely
God's
use
given us.
yeah, we definitely use herbs for a lot of the recovery,
Hmm.
a lot of the pain,
Yeah.
a lot of the mental that went along with it, the mental stress.
Yes, sir.
Because to be a man that took care of your family and that is the, alpha male,
Right.
to
Yes,
to
sir.
not have your arm that
Your strength.
everything with.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. It's you gotta really build your mind to
Yeah.
understand that,
It's
if you're
beyond the
not,
physical.
if you're not, you ain't coming back.
That's right. You're
You know what
not.
I'm saying?
And that's what
You're
we were
not
talking
coming
about.
back.
It was beyond the physical, and it had to go to the metaphysical, to the
Yes.
brain, and to the mind, to the soul, staying in your higher self, like you said, in order to receive that healing. And not only was the journey encompassed by um the mental aspects or the physical therapy or whatever. There was also occupational therapy. And the
Correct.
occupational therapy that I know of, I'm going to speak on, and that is
Correct.
working every day with that on.
Yep.
Not just
Yep.
doing I remember seeing you with the little exercise thing with your hands.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
most impressive was the artwork. This
Yeah. The
guy
left-handed artwork.
left-handed artwork. So if you look
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
him, all the artwork on the wall is his. Um,
Yeah. That's post.
yeah, let me give you a bigger shot. So that's his artwork. Now we were in the studio. You don't have to move it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But previous to that, it was, the artwork was still beautiful. It was amazing. But now, being that this dude switched hands and started doing artwork all over again. And I remember going into the shop, I was scared the first time when he got back because he was cutting my
Mm.
hair with his left hand. And I was like, oh hell. But this is my boy. So go ahead and cut it. All right.
And hey man, listen, man, that's the love, man. Another thing I have to talk about is how my I'm not gonna even say my clients or my customers, how my family,
Bam,
which
that's
is
right.
all these cats are my family. It's over 20 years
Yeah.
of relationship with these people, with these young men. They come from children to young men, that supported me throughout my whole journey,
Right.
my whole comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tell you supported financially, mentally,
Yeah.
spiritually, I mean supported. You know what I'm
Word.
saying? And I couldn't, it's crazy, man. I wouldn't have never thought. I
Eh,
know, people tell you, oh, you good people, man. You good people. Till you
Yeah, but
down and you paralyzed,
you just
and
don't know. Yeah, you don't
you
know
never
until you're
know
there.
till, yeah, tell you that.
I tell you what though, bro. I'm gonna tell you what was great for me. And it was, one of your best friends on the planet, man, and Dana Jones.
Yeah,
Man,
D.
man, he came and showed me love in the hospital, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. I think he came twice. I'm not sure, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know one time he came there. And my wife told me, nah, Dana came back or Dana came or something. But then I do remember a time that he came. So to have folk that were somewhat of like that,
Mm-hmm.
to be in the corner and ready to pour out that love that you've been pouring into us for so many years, it was absolutely amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
that's
man.
one of the things. I didn't say this, but let me say this. I appreciate you and I thank you, man, and I love you, you and Tanya, because you stepped
We
up.
love you back, brother.
Appreciate you. But y'all stepped in, like, I'm gonna tell you, dog, and I'm gonna say this publicly. Y'all stepped in better than family. You dig what I'm saying? When I say family, though, people, I want y'all to understand. When I say family, I'm talking about blood relation. And now, don't get me wrong, my family was not. Now, I ain't talking about my advocacy team, my close team, because I would venture to say that they were right on the side with them. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They weren't in there with those meetings that my advocate team had to go and beat people up, but they were there with exactly what I needed. And I'm talking about stayed in that hospital joking, because that's what I needed too. I needed that good energy, that positive, that, because I'm a
Hey,
jokester, you know,
you know,
and
it took a lot for me to go back in the hospital too, boy.
right, and that
Ooh,
wasn't long
man,
after his stay, and it
man,
was, that was like rough. You know,
bro, that was
it's the
rough.
same thing. It's the same thing that Sean Snyder said in his podcast. When I interviewed Sean on the show, uh, he was coming off his dad, and the crazy part was his dad was on the same floor that I was on,
Wow.
but because of his relationship with me, just like yourself, all of that went out of the window.
Mm-hmm.
All of it went out of the window, and I don't think, but I know that's exactly how we need to be with
Mm-hmm.
real folk, with real brothers. Don't give me no lip service, because that don't work for me.
Man, bro, I
and
tell
and
you,
I
bro,
know you got just as much or more lip service than I got.
man, but man, listen, man, I tell you, man, some solid cash, bro.
Yes, sir.
Man, I mean, some solid cash, bro. I mean, like, when I tell you, like, like breaking bread every week, like sending me like I was making at the shop, like you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying, to my
yeah,
cash app, like look here, bro.
yeah.
Shouts out to 100 Enterprise.
There you go.
You hear me, bro? I mean,
Chris
every
Stack.
week, man,
Yeah.
every week.
As a matter of fact, he's gonna be on the show coming soon. We just sat down and kind of put some things together. So we're gonna try to record this show and get him in, because he has a story. That's Ryan Johnson,
Oh hell
uh,
yeah!
former captain of the United States Army. He's retired, and he has a
But hold up,
story.
you and not only that, man. I've been, this young man and his brothers since they
Yeah,
were 10, 9, 10
absolutely.
years old.
Right.
And I've been, you know, teaching, educating, talking, um, learning from them as well.
Word.
You know what I'm
Word.
saying? As they became men. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
right.
that's my little brothers. They
Right.
inspire me and I know I inspire them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. And
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 him.
Ryan and Ryan is also a partner with me in Village Clothing,
Hmm.
um, which is it's another thing that you'll see a bit more of coming up. But we're excited about his interview. But back to this the red bone that's in front of us. Uh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I can't help myself, because I feel like I got to throw the shots before him, because
I'm gonna let you have them because this
his
is kind
cannons
of
stay loaded. I mean, and they just come out slick, like, you can't defend it sometimes. It's like, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna let you have them right now, brother.
All right, all right, right.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, he all cool. He all cool. Or he all something. I think I know
Medicated.
what it is. Dedicated or
Me-
medicated? Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, so tell me about what's going on with you now, though. I mean, as you know, as you've gone, and how long have you been out of the hospital?
Oh, sheesh. Oh man.
Has it been two
Babe, how
years,
long it's been? It's almost 2 years. Almost 2 years in November. Yeah, November 17th.
bro? I
No,
didn't know.
no, 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 no. It was November. I got out the hospital November 20 something, 28 or something like that. So yeah, yeah. It's almost 2 years.
Bro, I didn't know it was that close for me going in the hospital after you.
Hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
man.
Oh, so
Yeah,
that makes
and
that makes it
and them
even more
tests,
different.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, them tests. When they put them tests in front of you, either you're gonna take it or you're gonna lay down and go get in that box.
that's right. And
You know what
I
I'm
don't want no
saying?
box.
No, I'm gonna
No
take
box
that
for me.
test. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you my strength.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
show you.
That's right.
I'm gonna show you.
And
And I used to tell people, man, when that life test come, you gotta be able to take that test. You gotta want to take that test. You gotta be mentally strong enough to take that test. Or you can lay down and go ahead and get in that box.
get ready. That's it. Just be ready. And again, I spoke about this on another podcast. There is an importance for us to stay uh, in line. Do your checkups and don't just hold things to be like, oh, I'm gonna be all right. And not only do your checkups, but make sure you're taking care of your body, because the better you take care of your
Man,
body, the less you'll have to go and do a checkup. So if
yes,
you're
sir.
eating right and if you are putting motion to the body and exercise, moving your limbs,
Very
things like
important.
that, it's
Very
extremely
important.
important, because you're gonna get, you ain't gonna have all that other stuff. But if you got all
Yes,
these
sir.
underlying issues with this COVID thing, man, we lost so many people because of the underlying issue, not necessarily the disease in itself. Now, don't get me wrong. Initially, it was rough. It was a rough, scathing disease that was taking us out. Uh, but those who were in better shape, those who were um, doing what they need to do on a daily basis, it's kind of like insurance. You know what? You don't want to pay insurance, but it's necessary,
Correct.
because if you get in an accident, it, you need something to take care of that accident. And that's the same thing with
Correct.
our bodies, man. The same thing with our minds, our soul, spirit, all that stuff. So again, getting back to it. So what's happening now? What's going on with you now?
Oh
What's
shit, we
fresh? What's
full
new?
stride, man. We stay grinding.
Yeah,
We back at it. The crazy part about it is the business is better.
yeah,
We
yeah.
the business is bigger than ever. It's growing. It's grown since the accident. You know, um, we pitched the sea moss. We doing that. The
Can we do a
natural
shout out?
deodorant.
Let's do a shout out right quick to Latanya's Essentials. Is that the name?
That's it. Latanya's
Latanya's
essentials.
Essentials, man. It's a sea moss. Tell us what else you have with that.
We have the natural deodorant. We have natural toothpaste. So we have sea moss with elderberry. We have natural sea moss. Yeah, we got some more products coming out.
These are all healing products, things that to give us what we need um, in our bodies. Because the thing that keeps us healed is the things are the minerals that we receive, the vitamins and the
Correct.
minerals. So
Correct.
from
Correct.
sea moss is what 92 minerals by itself, and you add the
Yeah.
elderberry, you get
And the
an
body
additional
needs
2,
150, 200,
102.
102
Yeah,
essential minerals. Correct.
yeah. And so with the elderberry added to that sea moss, you're getting all 102 vitamins and minerals that's needed for the body to be I'm just waving stuff away. Uh
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
needed
but
for healing. Huh?
as well as when I do tell people about the sea moss and the
Yeah,
elderberry, you gotta understand that it's important to change your eating habits.
that's right. Because you can't just do this
Um,
by itself and it's going to all work.
nah, sea moss and all those things don't work just by just taking it.
That's
If
right.
you're still eating fast foods every day and you're still eating out of a bag, out of a box, out of a
Yeah,
can,
right.
these things are not going to work. You got to understand that you got to put more healthier things in your body than bad things in your body.
Well, I think I heard it best, and I heard Dr. Sabi say uh that they'll help you, but they won't heal you. If you
Correct.
change, then they'll heal you, which is the
Correct.
difference. Because if you ingest the sea moss, if you take the sea moss, yeah, it's going to do what it's got to do, but you got to do your part.
Hmm.
You can't just go and think this is a miracle drug, and because it's not that. It's something that you have to do, and you have to be consistent with it and make it happen,
Yeah.
because it's for you.
Correct. Correct. Dr. Sebi played a major role in us changing our diet and
Yeah.
um, becoming conscious of what we were eating,
Right.
and the things that give you energy, that heals the body.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dr. Sebi played a major role, and this was over 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
everybody
Look at
knew
that.
about him.
Right.
They thought I was crazy, and yeah, oh, you talking that shit? Oh, okay.
All right. You.
hmm
I tell you what. In 20 years, you're gonna be right here saying, "Let me get some of that stuff you
And
had."
the
But
funny
now,
part about it is you could check my IG, and 15, 16 years ago, I was posting CMOS when nobody was even talking about it.
right. Right. Absolutely. And so,
Correct.
and the good side of that is that you can come get on, but
hmm
it's in me.
Correct.
It's in my body now. So, and my body is used to it. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm much further than you are, but ain't it's no time like the present. Make it happen. Def cuts, you
Man,
heard me?
yeah, yeah. I
Look at
just
that.
thought about that. I couldn't get my damn plug. There it
Yeah,
is.
nah, get the plug. Def cuts. Def cut because it's a cultural experience, people.
You heard me? Shouts out to Ink Spot Graphics, man. You heard me?
Ink
We
Spot
multi.
Graphics. Who is that?
Um, this dark skinned brother, very melanated, very conscious, very educated, very knowledgeable. One of my inspirations, a brother that I am glad to be associated with and
Well,
glad
no.
to have met in my lifetime.
Word
You
up.
know what I'm saying? Much love to this brother. Great inspiration to me. You
Appreciate
know,
you, bro. Love you, man. I
yes,
love
sir.
you.
Yeah, man, you already know how it
Showing up,
goes.
shouting. And look,
Yeah,
I'm glad he did it because I've worn that shirt, I think twice on podcasts, and I never said nothing. This is the first time I said anything about my brand, which is sad. And then I had Sean Snyder with
yeah.
Jarware, and we both had his gear on, and neither one of us thought about saying anything about the brands. Again, like I
Mhm.
say all the time, when I ain't perfect, but we getting better, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
it.
Hold up. Time
Go.
out. Krista, grab one of them coconuts off the table right quick. We got to shout out to the Zulu coconut art we do too, man. Don't
Yeah,
forget, man. You got to
not
get
just
at us for
it.
coconuts and
It's
everything.
it's a whole bunch of
Any one of them.
artistic venues. So this guy makes
Any one of them
coconuts.
off the rack.
He
Huh?
makes coconuts for the Zulu
No, we
parade.
don't make. We don't
He
make.
customize
We decorate and we do
and
art on
decorate.
coconuts.
Well,
Correct.
yeah, yeah. Well, you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
forgive
yeah.
my
I don't
little.
want them to think we making them shits. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. He out here
Yeah,
just carving up.
yeah. Just some of the things that we do on the coconuts. Um,
And I'm up in here hacking. Look at that. That's crazy.
Wait a minute, hold a minute. How do I turn that
The other
shit?
way. Yeah, there you. Other
There
way.
it is.
Other way. There you go.
Word.
That's
Okay,
who's that?
hold up.
Who's that? Nas? No, I'm just joking. That's Malcolm X. The Blue
Do some.
Dog.
We do some cool shit, man. This is
Yeah.
some of the stuff that we do. This is just some customized ones we
And
do.
look,
But
people, this is
we do.
all hand painted.
Yeah, we do all hand painted stuff, man.
All hand painted.
We do up to. We do the most we ever did was like 5,000, and that was 2 years ago. Before, well, the year before COVID, we did 5,000 coconuts. Me and
Man,
my
that's
daughter.
crazy. That's nuts.
Yeah, yeah,
5,000 coconuts. If you've ever been
yeah,
to a Zulu parade, uh,
yeah. You
then you'll
probably
know
caught one
exactly what
out.
they're talking about. And you may have gotten one of his if you've gone to parade in the last couple of years. You may have gotten one of the coconuts that's his. I tell you what, let's do a little raffle and we'll get a coconut out. How about that? To the to no, yeah. All right. We can raffle off
We could do
right
that.
now. We can do an EG My Journey podcast coconut for the person that wins the raffle. And that is going to be whoever gives the most shares, likes, and we need first of all, you need to be subscribed to the podcast. You need to like and you need to hit the bell notification and we're gonna send it to you. You don't have to worry about nothing. Send us your information and what have you. But share it. You got to share this podcast, and we're gonna put you in the game.
All hand painted.
All hand painted. It's gonna be just for you. You're gonna be the only one with one. The only one. This might make us have to ride in a parade and do our only thing. Our own our own float or something.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been my pleasure to stand here with my brother and to do this podcast to help and bless someone's life on today. Remember, we give you our journey so you can better travel yours. It's your man EG. with the EG My Journey podcast, and I'm with my man, Aaron. Yeah, that's it. Bust a move. You heard me?
We out of here,
Get out
man.
us.
Peace and
We love
blessings.
you. And like I always say, I want you to keep your deuces crooked. That's it. I'll let you people. Be clear.